Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Kayla Card-Forbes.
Spring is here, but you wouldn't know it. The snow is likely to stick around for the rest of the day, but is there any more of the white stuff heading our way? Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. Today, we'll reach a high of -2 with the snow clearing out later in the day. Thursday, we'll see a high of -3 and a low of -11 with some cloudy periods. On Friday, we'll hit a high of -2 and a low of -11, also with some cloudy periods. Kicking off the weekend, Saturday we'll have a high of 0 and a low of -9, also with some clouds. And Sunday will be more of the same, with a high of 0 and a low of 9, with the clouds sticking around for another day. And that's it for your 5-day weather forecast. Now back to you in the newsroom.
Thanks, Kayla. Now moving on to international news. Officials in Tokyo are warning area residents about the city's tap water, saying it's not safe for babies under a year old to drink. Radiation from the Fukushima Daiichi plant has affected the capital's water supply. There are reports that radioactive iodine levels in some areas are twice the recommended level, but officials say children would have to drink a lot of water before getting sick. In the Fukushima prefecture, workers have been temporarily evacuated from the crippled nuclear plant after black smoke was seen coming from reactor number 3. The black smoke is now dissipating.
One person has died and at least 25 people have been wounded after a bomb was detonated at a crowded bus stop in central Jerusalem. Israeli authorities are blaming Palestinian militants and claim it is the first major militant attack on the city in years. No person or party has claimed responsibility yet for the attack.
Anti-government protests in the Middle East continue to move across the region. At least 6 people were killed early this morning during demonstrations in Syria. It's the 6th day of anti-government protests in the country, despite long-lasting emergency laws that ban public gatherings. Thousands of people have taken to the streets in Daraa, a major city in the south. Independent news reports say the protesters were killed by security forces. Protesters say they're calling for political freedom and an end to corruption.
To Libya now, where Canadian forces have made their first attacks in the campaign to enforce a no-fly zone. 4 Canadian CF-18 fighter jets flew 2 missions, destroying a Gaddafi-held ammunitions depot with laser-guided bombs in the northwest of the country. In the east, forces loyal to Muammar Gaddafi have stepped up their attacks on the rebels. Government and rebel forces have been locked in a standoff over the city of Ajdabia for more than a week. It's a gateway city to rebel-held areas in the east, and rebel forces there say they're being outgunned by Gaddafi's military.
And now for your sports, here's Miranda Anthosol. Humber's men's and women's indoor soccer teams will compete for the OCAA soccer title. Both teams took the top spot at the OCAA Outdoor Soccer Championships and will be vying for their next win on Thursday. Players from both teams are confident that they will bring home the gold.
We're a good team. It's just we have to come out strong right at the beginning.
I think we have a really good chance of winning. We have great defense, great goalkeeping. We score on demand, and we can get the job done if we try.
The top 4 teams will advance to the semifinals and medal games on Friday. The OCAA Championships will be held at the Ontario Soccer Centre in Vaughan. In pro sports, the Maple Leafs dominated the Minnesota Wild 3-0 last night, with rookie goalie James Reimer posting his 3rd career shutout. Joffrey Lupul, Mikhail Grabowski, and Carl Gunnarsson each scored a goal, while Nikolai Kulemin added 2 assists. Reimer made 29 saves for the Buds, who kept pace with both the Buffalo Sabres and Carolina Hurricanes, who also picked up wins last night. With 8 games left in the season, the Leafs currently sit in 10th place, 5 points out of the playoffs. Toronto is on ice tomorrow night in Denver, squaring off against the Colorado Avalanche. In NBA news, the Raptors tip off tonight in Phoenix against Steve Nash and the Suns. The Dinos will be looking to avoid their 14th straight loss against the Suns. This is the 30th time the team will meet with Phoenix, who hold a commanding 22-7 winning record against Toronto. Also on the line this evening, the Raptors' bleak playoff hopes rest on a victory tonight, as they could be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. In other NBA news, there are rumors circulating that the Sacramento Kings could be moving to Southern California, becoming the Anaheim Royals. The franchise has until April 18th to decide whether or not they will finalize the move. And in Grapefruit League action, it was a close game for the Blue Jays as they fell short by 1 run, losing 5-4 against the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies pitcher Cliff Lee threw 6 effective innings, giving up 2 runs and 4 hits, while Raul Ibanez hit a 3-run homer. Blue Jays starting pitcher Ricky Romero picked up the loss, allowing 6 hits and 4 runs over 4 innings, while Juan Rivera picked up his 2nd home run of the spring. The Jays head to Tampa this evening to play the New York Yankees. And that's a wrap-up of your sports news for today. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Miranda. After the break, we'll have the latest in entertainment from Emery Johnston.
The film industry loses a star today, and music artists lend their talents to aid victims in Japan. All this and more in entertainment after the break.